I'm delighted this morning to introduce Kathleen Taylor, our social work manager. Welcome, Kathleen.
Hi.
You have some things you would like to talk to us about, I'm sure, about social work.
I do. Yeah, something that I don't really know. I talk a lot about social work, but I feel like I haven't really talked about this very much. And this is that social workers, part of what our social workers' goal is when we work with people is to help people make the best informed decisions about whatever life choices they're trying to make. And a lot of them may have to do with medical care, or other kinds of health care services. So informed decisions is our goal. And what we know is that in order for our residents to make the best informed decisions, they have to have the best information.
All right, these are about serious things.
In general, yes. Yeah, it could be related to, what's going on with your health care. I mean, we talk about social workers being care managers and helping people access resources across the continuum, because we have all these wonderful resources, a lot of them related to health care, available, but a lot of times I think people don't exactly know what they are or when they would need them. So that's where we always say.
And part of this then you're implying, I think, is transitioning to Garden Ridge, using medical services.
Yeah, I mean, it's
services.
It's everything really. It's maybe somebody needs home health, or maybe they need home support, or maybe they need to go to outpatient therapy, but they don't know how to do that.
Okay.
So it's the social worker's role as a case manager is to just sit down with them and really help them look at what they're identifying as the problem, and then talking to them and giving them the information that we have, but also a lot of times, because I hate to admit it, but social workers don't know everything.
No.
That we want to get our residents to the right people, to get them to the people who are experts in their area. So sometimes, along those lines, what we're doing more of is really facilitating residents getting to those people. So it might be that people are thinking about maybe a transition to continuing care.
All right, but it's any change in your status,
any
you're
concern.
Feeling
Yeah.
All right, any need or concern.
Yeah, like maybe you're just like, things are not going as smoothly as you want to in your apartment. But what we're really trying to do is to talk that through with people. But like I was saying, for example, if somebody's considering maybe independent living's not got as many supports for them, community's getting way too big, getting to dinner is a challenge, then what we're going to do is we're going to talk about an information visit with the continuing care team, and to make that suggestion that they make contact with the admissions team over in Garden Ridge and have an information visit. So an information visit is more information about what's available in Garden Ridge that will then allow that resident to make a better informed decision about, what they want to do. Are they thinking, based on that information, then that a move to maybe assisted living might be a better choice for them?
I think particularly folks in their late 80s and in their 90s, that was such an uncomplaining generation, and often just really stoic, and that they put up with a lot of things, not really realizing sometimes that there are wonderful resources available.
Right. Good point. Just to know what those are.
Exactly.
And I think another thing that's really big on our radar right now, thinking about making, again, an informed decision, is that there's a financial piece to every decision that we make. So the social work team is really starting to work really well with our finance department and our new finance director, Ron Taylor, because they we'll be able to sit down with the residents when they're starting to think about a different, perhaps, level of care, and they're going to be able to do that financial review, and they're going to be able to do a financial forecast. So that way you can kind of talk about the cost and benefits of any particular decision. If you want to continue to be in independent living, but you're maybe going to have some in-home care, that's going to be an expense. So they're going to be able to walk you through that in terms of
and project what that
would be like, and then also compare and contrast what that would look like if you decided, instead of doing that, to go to assisted living, where those services are already available to you as part of the care package.
All right. I think this is an extremely valuable. I think this is extremely valuable. Does Ron Taylor do it himself?
I think right now he is, yeah. But he has a good team, so I think I mean, we've been talking for a long time about just people being able to have kind of get their ducks in a row in terms of, you know, going to the finance office and making sure that they have their all of the documentation that they need in their folder in finance. And we've sort of been saying, hey, just do that check-in. They have a list of documents that would be good for you to have, so go ahead and do that. So really kind of expanding that relationship with finance, because it is an integral part of everyone's life, and when it comes down to it, cost, you know, might be the tipping point.
It certainly could be. All right, so you're acting really as the team captain in your case management. And steering people to the proper places to get the information.
Yeah, and you know, the goal is, you know, that the residents they're their own decision makers, so they need to have as much information as they can have, and the best and most accurate information, which I think is the other thing sometimes, is that residents may have perceptions, you know, and they may talk to each other, and they might think that they know. So, but it's better to clarify that.
There's a lot of information exchanged over the dinner table.
There is, and we would like that to be accurate. So,
okay. Well, and of course, kids, folks may want to bring their children with them for these sessions as well.
Right.
And you would welcome that, I assume.
Right. Absolutely. And that's something that we really do want, is to have, usually you have a designated financial power of attorney, as well as your healthcare power of attorney. So yeah, that person, that's part of the message. Great. You've been listening to me.
I have.
that you need to bring that person into the conversation.
All right. Well, this is a really critical role. So people don't feel like they're just out there hanging, sometimes in duress and really needing some advice.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's just, I mean, I think we're doing more and more every day to work as a team. You know, and I think finance in particular might appear to be sort of an outlier in terms of, you know, a person's regular life.
We think of them, you know, as the place where we pay our monthly bill.
Exactly.
And beyond that, we don't.
Exactly. But thinking about it, you know, our whole lives, you know, we have, you know, done our own budgets, and we've figured out how far our money can go.
Our mortgages and the
and
whole
all
business.
of that. And but this is a little more complicated, because it, you know, involves the community and the services and how much they cost. And that's not, you kind of know how much your groceries cost a week, but you're not necessarily sure about how much it would cost to move to assisted living.
No, that's
for
right.
example.
We know our monthly fees, but in independent living.
Right.
But no, we don't know those.
Yeah, and I know that people, you know, are concerned about, as we're living longer, which is a wonderful thing, that down payment is potentially stretching farther. So that's another reason to do that financial forecast with finance. So I'm excited about the fact that we're kind of developing this partnership with the residents in social work with finance, because again, that just gives people so much more information, and it gives them another resource and a support system as they're trying to make decisions.
All right. Well, that's excellent, and I think probably many folks don't really think of social work in this role. So that's very helpful, Kathleen. I hope we'll all take it to heart.
Good. Good. But don't be surprised if a social worker recommends that, because that's just part of what we're doing. It's sort of becoming more a part of our practice is to recommend that financial review and forecast, along with sending people for information in different areas.
Yes, and that certainly is a new piece. Well, it sounds good.
Yes, yes, it will be good. It'll do good things for people, I think.
All right. What else is on your platter?
Well, I want to plug our show, right?
Good. We will plug
I guess
away.
that's not a conflict of interest that I'm here to do that, but
Well, since they're all Channel 6 programs,
I know.
I think we're in good shape.
I know. I have both hats on. I have my That's Life hat on and my social work manager hat on. But yeah, we have a That's Life program coming up, showing on Monday, June 26th or 7th, right?
20, yes, I think
It's the last Monday of the month.
I believe it's the 27th.
Yeah.
It's the last Monday of the month.
But we're tackling a really difficult situation, and it's actually an extension of the show that we did, Vantage Point, where we're talking about disability and how the community supports one another when some of our residents might be struggling with a disability.
Yes.
I say struggling, but it could be flourishing with a disability, you know. But how we support one another, and so the That's Life program is going to be a little play that you've created about certain dynamics related to that situation, and then we're going to be talking about it with the actors that are playing the characters for the show.
We should say that the play involves a very obnoxious, very opinionated woman that I'm not playing.
Oh.
Carol Tippett is playing.
Right. And then Eloise
Stinger
is the voice of reason.
Exactly. Voice of kindness.
The voice of kindness and reason, yeah. So it's, I think it should be interesting. It definitely packs a punch.
Yes.
And
it's probably fairly realistic in some ways.
In some ways, but I think we definitely are. It's kind of, we're sort of overstating the situation so that people sort of, we do kind of want to
for the dramatic
impact of it.
Exactly.
But then, afterwards we kind of talk it through. So
yes,
I think people will enjoy it. I hope so.
We got certainly good responses to the last little play that we did on That's Life, which had to do with advanced directives.
Yeah, and choosing a medical power of attorney. Yeah, and that one, people might know, we did a couple of workshops out in the community and used that play as a kind of entry, and people really responded well to it. So I don't know, maybe we're going to be doing more of those. I don't know, but so anyhow, so That's Life is going to be a good show. I would love people to see it, and then we always like feedback, right?
We do like feedback. Yeah. So it's a week from Monday, and we'll hope folks watch it and talk to us and to the actors about their reaction.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Terrific. Well, Kathleen, I see our time is about finished here. Anything else you'd like to end with?
No, I think that's good. I'm going to do the announcements, though.
Yes, I
do them
Kathleen
so great.
into doing the announcements, which she does for our program, too.
That's right.